Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in. This is your instructor Joy. Today we're going to talk about 7 rules of fingering so that we know how to pick the right fingerings which will serve our playing better. But before I go that one, I would like to thank you all for your continued support here in my YouTube channel as well as in my Patreon page. That truly means the world to me. And also thank you very much for your kind words, encouraging words, questions and booking lessons with me. That truly means a lot to me. Thank you very much. But I encourage you all to check out my Patreon page, which is in my description below. I'll be posting the entire vibrato course as well as other videos on depending on different levels. Okay, when it comes to fingerings, sometimes we wonder, how does one know which fingering works or which fingering to use when it comes to picking the right fingering? Sometimes we have no choice because when we run out of notes, we have to go higher positions. So let's say if we have to play note E, in a higher E, you have to go higher positions. That's an easy way of figuring it out. But basically, we choose certain type of fingerings for 2 different reasons. One, the comfort of the left hand. So you're depending on your technical level, we choose right fingerings. If you're rather at in an early stage of your playing, you might want to stay in the first position, which is a little more familiar with you and then a bit easier to play in tune. Whereas if you're a little more advanced players or intermediate advanced players, you have a little more freedom of choosing 3rd position or higher, 6th, 7th, and even 8th all the way. So depending on that one, that's when it comes to different technical level. Another one is for musical reason. So every tone has certain quality. Let's say open E has a rather bright sound, but if I use note E by using 4th finger or even 2nd finger, it has a rather intimate sound. So if I want a bright upbeat tune, then I would use 1st position. But if I want to make that tone a little mellow, a little intimate, then it would be well advised to use fingered notes, either 1st position or 3rd position anyway, so that you can create certain kind of tone quality. So that's big picture why we do. So when it comes to scale or fast runs and ups and downs, it is good idea to go with a 0 upwards and come down with a 4th finger. The reason being is while you're using 0, your left hand gets naturally prepared for the upcoming string, whereas when you're going down on descending, by using 4th finger, your left hand gets turned to you, or left arm gets slightly moved to your right, which will prepare your left hand naturally, yeah, so that the left hand gets prepared, which will secure your intonation. So that's why. When it comes to multiple octaves, we like to use, commonly done is 1st to the 3rd position, 3rd to the 5th position, sometimes 3rd to the 6th position as well. But when it comes to arpeggio or even scales, we like to shift from in a new octave. So traditional way would be, let's say A major scale to the 3rd position, now shift to the 6th position. But there's another way, which is we shift whenever we have new octaves. So like, now I shifted to the 4th position. Now I'm in the 7th position. Yeah, that's another way of doing it. Nice thing about shifting a new octave is it's easy to remember, especially if you have to memorize multiple scales for exams and stuff. And also it plays very well when you play arpeggio. So arpeggio, sorry. So you can just shift whenever you have new octave. That works very well. Okay, that was the first one. Second one, when it comes to chromatic, there are 2 ways of doing it. So one is sliding fingers or changing fingers. So the difference between those are sliding fingers, you can hear the sliding notes. When you change fingers, notes are a little crisp. So you have to choose which one works. So if you don't mind sliding notes, and sometimes we use those sliding notes, we call it glissando, as a musical expression. If you want to do that, then it's okay to use 1-1 like that. But if you want rather crisp sound, and you do 1-2-1-2, the typical chromatic scales would be either 1-1-2-2-3, and then we like to use 4, and then go to the next string. That's first one. Second way is 1-2-1-2-3-4. Yeah. So that's when it comes to first position. When it comes to higher positions, we like to use 1-2-3, 1-2-3, because the distance of notes gets too narrower. It's a little hard to do all 4 fingers. So, for example, here 1-2-3, and then again 1-2, like that. Yeah. So that's generally how we would like to do. Excuse me. Now, next one, 3. So sometimes we like to put one finger over 2 strings to avoid unnecessary open string sound, or to make our left hand more efficient in the fast passages. Yeah. So let's say if you have to play, let's say if you have to play back and forth A and E string, but if I place finger only one string at a time, then you get to hear the open A. That's when we place both fingers over 2 strings. Yeah, that way. Like that. So that's when we sometimes do that. Now let's go to, and then next one, 4. When you have sustaining long notes, especially in high positions, it is good idea, well advised, to use strong fingers such as second, third finger to land with the second, third fingers, not pinky, because pinky is physically just small and weak. Even though it is possible for us to vibrate, it is rather not the most comfortable one, and with a little nerve, a little stress, they could lose its control easily. So let's say passage like here, I would like to end with a third finger instead of pinky, even though it's possible. But you know, if you have choice of picking the stronger finger for the long difficult notes, it's always a good idea. Same goes if it's a melody. So I like to use second hand instead of fourth finger here. It is possible, but if you have a stronger one, it's better to use stronger fingers such as second and third. Yeah, like that. So it's a good idea. Now, 5. Extension and contraction. Extension is sometimes we have to use fingers. This is when it comes to, you have to know the strength and the size of your left hand. That plays an important role. So extension is, sometimes we use pinky, like, and then we stretch pinky. So we're still staying in the first position, but we're just stretching the pinky. Then it is possible, but I have rather small hands, so I don't like to do that all the time. Sometimes I have no choice and I have to train myself. And training your left hand for all technical aspects is a great one. But when it comes to choosing fingerings that works for you, you have to be strong enough. It's not all about ego or proving that we could do that. It's all about securing all your tools so that you can play well and express your musical ideas. Yeah. So if you can If you have small hands like me, try to extend with a fourth finger or something a lot like that. But if you have larger hand and longer fingers, and you're blessed, and that, go for it. So so they're typical when there's a here we contract, so we squeeze our hand. Then big hands people tend to extend with the first finger, then extend again. So I'm extending with the first finger backwards and bringing back. But I have rather small hands, so I don't like to do that. I just slide it with the second finger, like that. So that's when it comes to size of your left hand plays a role. So you have to decide which one you can play in tune nicely without breaking your hand. That's what it boils down. Contraction is like I showed it shortly, just you squeeze your hand for a short time, which can be done for any size of left hand player. Okay, now 6, double stops. When it comes to double stops, the common mistake that I see is we tend to overpress it. So here, when it comes to double stops, the left hand positions are much different than single notes. The left hand position is different, but most of all, the fingertip has to be much lighter for several reasons. Because if you press it, you're making your hand tense, and therefore it's going to be hard. But also, you're shifting constantly. Go here. Sorry. Yeah, so lighter, so you can shift. That's one way. And whether it's playing third or second or sixth, always lighter fingertip, much lighter fingertip than you would play single notes. And when it comes to octave, there's two ways of doing it, either 1/4, or you can do finger octave, which is 1/3 and 2/4. Let me do it again. So it all depends how fast run is and how comfortable you are with the technique. Last one is leaving fingers on. Sometimes you see in the music there's a finger 1 or 2 and there's a long line going on. That means leaving fingers on. How do we know that? Simply, if certain notes reappears over and over, it's a good idea to leave it on. So for example, so here I'm playing this first note over and over. If I lift up, I can do that, but I'm wasting my energy for no reason. So by leaving fingers on, I make myself more reliable, and also I'm saving my energy. Here we just have to remember, don't press it too hard, just minimum weight to keep the first finger down or whatever finger you're leaving, so that you can still efficiently move the other fingers. Like that, yeah? So I try to contract in a smaller form of rules of fingerings, and I hope this gave you some ideas. But always remember, you have to test it yourself. It has to work with your technical level, with your type of left hand, and your personal musical taste as well. Yeah? I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you again. Bye-bye.